There are two main categories of equipment, and you narrow them down by fuel type. The first is the easiest to use, least expensive to buy the individual appliances, but hardest to get the fuel set up and distributed and most restricting, and that's propane. No matter what fuel you use, you're going to want a 2-burner suitcase style stove. Most likely, you're going to want a heater, a tent-safe heater to keep the tent comfortable. A lantern. Fuel lanterns are optional nowadays. There are some nice LED lanterns on the market. To be honest with you, I don't like the light the LED lanterns provide. They're much harsher than a fueled lantern. So I've gone on my propane, at least, with this Coleman Quick Pack lantern. You can see the whole rig, and I've discussed connecting this stuff up before, but I use the Y post, or the Y adapter, the tri-outlet safety post that will allow me to connect to the Y adapter. Most of them won't. And then I connect my lantern, my heater, my stove, and over here is my Zodi instant propane hot camp shower. Now, I don't have the shower out because it's not fueled. It's actually a device that sits on top of the burner of the stove. Another way to go, and this could actually be cheaper if you go used here, and I brought this example out. This was an estate sale find, Coleman 425 white gas stove. I also have a 424. This 425 cost me $25. The heater, this is a 3000 BTU. I've got lots of these little gasoline heaters, well, white gas. This particular heater was given to me. My 518B, what is it, a 5 or 6,000 BTU heater was a $10 find at a thrift store, and it's in almost new condition. And then I bought this 2-mantle dual fuel lantern on eBay, and I think with shipping it was something like $50. The nice thing about the white gas appliances is there's no hoses. If you look on my propane, I've got to run hoses across the camp. That's a 12-foot hose. That barely covers the distance from the distribution post, under a 5-foot table, under an 18-inch stove stand, and then 4 feet up that riser there. If I wanted to put the shower tent at a reasonable distance, I'd have to add another hose, which I have. No matter what fuel you're using, with the stove, at least, you're going to want a butane lighter. With many of the heaters, same thing. And honestly, with a lot of the lanterns. I like the long nose barbecue lighters, and I like to keep one per stove and in every case we've got. The liquid fuel is going to require a filter funnel. This is a special filter funnel. It's Coleman. It came with the 425, but it's what I would need for this particular heater, because it's a small filler font, you can use the yellow Coghlan's funnels as well. They work fine. The red Coleman funnels are actually too big to fit in the hole. If you look at the Zodi, there's a pump. Now this pump has a wire. Following the wire around is a battery box. This takes four, I think they're, the battery box takes 4 D cells. It's got a gasket to keep water out of it. And the output hose out of the shower just has a little basic shower head. The idea here is you put that pump in your water source, you submerge the spray head back into the same water source, turn the pump on, turn the gas on, then come over and turn the gas on here and hit the igniter and let it flow for a few minutes until you get to the temperature you want. It really doesn't take very long. So, giving you an example of costs. Now, I got these things on sale. These were cheap. The stove was $43.99 new. The heater was $59.99 new. I got this at Home Depot on a Black Friday sale. Honestly, you usually don't see these under $120. The lantern was $18.99 new at Walmart. They seem to be closing them out. But I see them go for about $50 everywhere else. I've listed elsewhere the prices and availability of all of the propane components. The Coleman heaters like this are no longer available new. They're on the used market. They go from free to, I've seen them go as high as $75. I wouldn't pay that much for them. $25 seems to be reasonable, depending on the condition, features, all that. The dual fuel lantern, these things seem to go for around $89 to $119 new. You can get these shipped from eBay or Craigslist. Generally speaking, I wouldn't pay more than $50. And the single fuel 425 stove, I got for $25. The 424 I bought new well over a decade ago, probably close to 2 decades ago, so I can't give you a fair market on them. One last thing to consider when comparing white gas to propane, and yes, I do have carry cases for the white gas lanterns, I just don't have them out, is how big everything's going to pack up. This is everything you need for the heater, the lantern, and the stove. The showers are roughly the same size, so I'm not going to put them side by side because the camp shower I made for the stovetop is bug ugly. But you can see considerably less space used for white gas. Now, I only have 3 gallons of white gas here. The general wisdom has been 5 pounds of propane to 1 gallon of gasoline, of white gas. I don't know how accurate that is. I've heard between 4 and 5 pounds. I seem to do better with white gas than they say. I can honestly go with 5 gallon or the 5 pounds propane, but let's face it, if you had to stick it in your trunk, Which one are you going to choose? Thanks for watching my video. If you liked what you saw, please click like, subscribe, and share my content. Please go back and watch the old stuff. There's a lot of good material there for you to enjoy. And like I always say, get out there, be busy, be safe, but most of all, be blessed. I'll talk to you later.